Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. You are tuned into Mic Drop. I'm your humble host, Big Mike, coming to you from home. Hope everyone's doing well out there, all things considering, and especially in Toronto. But hope everyone's doing well, like I said. I'm doing pretty good, all things considering. So today's vlog is kind of going to switch it up a little bit. I'm trying to switch up my vlogs a little bit, keep them a little bit fresh and funky. Even though I do general, similar vlogs, but I try to mix it up a little bit. So this vlog is going to be similar than my other vlogs, but I'm going to have a little twist to it. So, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I did a vlog on my top 5 white, black, and red Jordans sneakers. Because I was inspired by an outfit that I had, and I decided, hey, I should do a vlog on my white, black, and red sneakers, because I think this outfit that I have really goes well with those white, black, and red sneakers. So now I have decided that seeing that I have way more of these sneakers, I'm going to do a top 10 of my black and red Jordans, basically, or bred colorways, or mostly colorways that Jordan played on, like when he was at home or in the road or in the playoffs, that type of thing. That's kind of the theory behind this vlog. Now, also, as well, I wanted to actually, I'm going to add at the end, the one twist that I was talking about is I'm going to add at the end, I decided to do a little bit of a social experiment, more or less, and I wanted to kind of see the process of trying to purchase a release of a shoe that everyone really wants and try to see if I'm able to try to purchase it on Foot Locker and or Champ Sports, and let you guys see kind of the process. It's not a long-winded video. It's only about maybe 3 or 4 minutes long at the most. But I kind of wanted to show the process to see how easy or difficult it is, and then I'll get your take. I'll actually talk about that in the second video because I'm actually going to make this a 2-part video because it's 10 shoes. Now, I want to explain my criteria for doing these shoes because now if some sneaker enthusiasts stumble upon this video, they'll probably think I'm out of my damn mind for the list that I have because some people put certain shoes in higher regard than others, and my list is not really based off that. My list is based off of shoes that are popular, but also sneakers that I like. But the reason why I organized it in this way is I base it off of versatility of the shoe. What I mean by that is, can I wear this shoe with different colors? Can I wear this with different outfits? A lot of Jordans, while Jordans are great, Jordans are comfortable, love Jordans, obviously. Obviously, I'm wearing the Chicago Bulls hat, and I have another Chicago Bulls hat as well, and that's what kind of inspired me to do this damn list. There are some black and red colorways of Jordans that you can't really wear with anything. But this list, I think, as I progressively go down the list, you're going to see that there are some that I can and there's some that I can't. But I also base it off of, like, what I can wear it with, and also just hype around the shoe and how much I really wanted the shoe. So I'm basing it a lot off of that as well. So some sneaker enthusiasts might not like it, but I don't really care. It's my list. It's what I like. So you like what you like. So anyway, without further ado, let me start my list. So number 10 on my list of shoes is, oddly enough, the Jordan 10s. So there you go. And I didn't do this on purpose. I didn't mean to put the 10s last on purpose. But in fairness, the 10s are not my most favorite sneaker. Okay? So, but this one actually is. I actually do like this sneaker. So, I did do a review on this shoe last year. A brief little review. Talking about it a little bit in some detail. So, like I showed you, for example, the bottoms and kind of what it says on it. So, it basically kind of details Michael Jordan's awards and accolades up until 1996 when he retired. Up until about 94, when he retired the first time. And then when he came back in 96 afterwards, you know the story. If you don't know the story, you should watch The Last Dance. But these, again, the Jordan 10s are not my favorite. And they're not most people's favorites, in fairness. But for me, I just, the silhouette, I didn't really care for. And I think most people don't really care for the 9s specifically and the 10s. Because this was the period where Jordan wasn't really playing. But when Jordan, they continued to make the shoe afterwards, because actually Tinker Hatfield, and I did share this story in my last video about this shoe. Basically, with this shoe, I think Jordan Brand had asked Tinker Hatfield, who had designed Jordans, I believe, from 1 to, 15 or 16, had asked him to discontinue the line because Jordan wasn't playing anymore. But Tinker didn't give a shit, because that's how he is. He's kind of a rebel, kind of like a hippie, but a really good designer. And he decided that Jordan was such an icon at the time, which he was, that he felt the need to continue the brand. So he came up with this one. And actually, Jordan did play in these specifically in the playoff run when they went to the playoffs in '95 or '96, I believe. So he did wear this pair, actually, and this is actually as true as the original. I think the other pair that came out in years past did not had the 45 on the side, but the gray was a lot different. This is actually truer to the original that came out when Jordan played. So that's kind of why I like these as well. And again, this is a very casual shoe. I could kind of wear this with a little bit of anything. I could even wear it with this if I wanted to. But it's a very dope shoe for the most part. I do like the little hint of red there, and I do like the bottoms. That's the one thing I do like about these shoes is the bottoms. But again, it's not a shoe that I'm like, oh my god, I really, really had to get this shoe. I didn't get it when it came out in 2017. I did get it last year, so that just show you how much I didn't like, or kind of liked it, but didn't like it as much. And actually, the price point on these wasn't too much. I did order these off Kicks on Fire, but the price point has kind of gone up on these shoes, so just be mindful of that. If you're going on a consignment shop like Stadium Goods or Flight Club, you are going to probably pay a little bit more. But overall, the shoe isn't too bad. And I was able to get it in a size 12. It still fits me relatively good, even though I'm a size 13. Still fits me well. And I did wear this shoe actually a lot. When I went to Calgary a few months ago, I actually took these shoes with me, and I wore them damn near all the time. So these got a lot of work. But anyway, you can get these shoes anywhere. Number 10 on my list, the Jordan 10 OG Shadow Editions. Now, my number 9 shoe is pretty dope. Love this shoe. A little bit of a story behind these, but I'll share these anyway. So number 9 on my list are the metallic Jordan 5s. Okay. Now, one of the reasons why I love this shoe is it's very versatile. I feel like it's a shoe that you can kind of wear with anything. I've worn this with like khaki pants, worn it with jeans, haven't worn it with army pants yet, but I've worn it with different shirts, different hats, different color shirts, stuff like that. I feel this shoe is very neutral in that is not a lot of red on it. It's like a black, predominantly black, and then metallic. This is why I think they call it the metallic here because of this. And then also the tongue is very reflective, which I also love as well. And obviously Nike on the booty, which I always love as well. Now these shoes are we're in 2021, so 5 years old, because I bought these in 2016. I bought these actually when I was in New York. And if you want to scroll down all the way to the lower bottom of my list, I actually did a review of these shoes when they were freshly new in 2016 when I was in New York, because I actually did a vlog when I was on my trip in New York. But these shoes are really dope. I love these shoes. One of the shoes I wanted to get when they came out for sure. I do love a high top shoe, and I'm a sucker for a black shoe. And if it has a little bit of white in it, even better. But this doesn't really have too much white in it. So I did go to Flight Club to buy these, because actually the weekend these came out, I was in New York, but I couldn't get them at Champs or Foot Locker. They were all sold out of my size. So I basically had to go to Flight Club, which is fine, because I actually wanted to go to Flight Club, because Flight Club, for those of you who don't know, is probably one of the biggest sneaker consignment stores in the world. And consignment base you can trade in and stuff like that. And they just have a mass quantity of shoes. And Stadium Goods, in my opinion, is the best shoe store ever in the world, hands down. Not been to Stadium Goods yet, but I know Stadium Goods, the site is really good. But in terms of the store, Flight Club is probably the best store I've ever been to, because it has literally every single shoe. Any shoe you can think of, any shoe that you ever wanted, they have. Like, I remember before, like, I was holding a pair of Concord 11s, or the Jordan 11s that I now own. But at the time I didn't own, I really wanted. I was literally holding them in my hand. So from that standpoint, it's a great place to go and look for shoes. But I will say, in terms of the customer service, there's not really much, because basically, like, you get in, you tell the people what shoe you want. They go with radio the back saying, hey, this we need this shoe in this size. They give you the shoe, you pay for the shoe, you get the fuck out. That's basically how they do it. But other than that, it's a really, really good thing. But another reason why I like this shoe is because when I initially bought this shoe, I had actually changed the laces to white. Now, and I think if you see the video that I did in New York, I think they were in white laces. Now, the reason why I did them in white laces was because Jumpman Bostic, who's this Jordan sneakerhead and collector, and shout out to him, actually, he's a really, really good dude, really solid dude. Actually, I was connecting with him, or I spoke to him a few times through Instagram, and he actually shouted me out on one of his posts. So I really appreciate that. But he was telling a story around the time when these shoes came out about how Jordan had changed the laces to white in one game. And it was a game that Jordan played in Milwaukee. And he basically changed these shoes. He was wearing these shoes, but he was wearing white laces. And the reason why he did white laces was he was more like, he felt like, I guess it was a saying more or less that he was putting in work. And that's why he changed them to white laces. So I thought the shoe looked really good with white laces. So I had them for white. I had these with white laces for a better part of 2 years. And a lot of people didn't like it when I would post it on like Facebook or I would walk around. People would looking at me like, "The hell are those? Why are you putting white laces in them?" Da 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 da. But I just loved white laces. So, and I felt like it kind of highlighted the shoe a little bit more. I did go back to the black laces because I do like the black laces as well. But it's just a shoe that I always really liked. As you can see, it is a little bit old. I wear my shoes, as you can see, by the bottoms. And as you can see here, it's tanned right here. So you know it's been definitely worn. But I wear my shoes. I don't just keep them in a box and look at them. That's not how I operate with shoes. So, but yeah, these are really dope, very comfortable. In terms of where you could probably get them, you'll probably get them through like Flight Club, Stadium Goods, stuff like that. I think even Kicks on Fire has these. Price point, I'm not 100% sure. We're probably gonna pay more for these because they are older. But yeah, these are shoes that I really, really am glad I was able to get, and I really love these shoes. So, and I've worn these with many different colors. You can kind of wear it, dress it up, dress it down, wear it with different stuff too. So, number 9 on my list, Jordan 5 Metallic 5s. Now, number 8 are, and these shoes, oh my God, I really love these shoes. But these ones, the Raptor Sevens. Okay, these are my number 8 shoe. Okay, now, the Jordan silhouette, again, these are the Jordan 7 is my favorite Jordan. For those of you who don't know, or if I've probably belabored this point a million times, but I'm going to say it again just in case for those in the back who don't hear me. This silhouette, this style of Jordan is my favorite out of all of them. Okay, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 pairs of Jordan 7s. There's still a couple I haven't gotten yet, but the main ones I've gotten, so I'm happy about that. But these ones were ones that I really, really, really was excited to get. Reason being is obviously Raptors color, old school Raptors colorway. Love that. Although these shoes were not originally called the Raptor Sevens. These were actually called the Charcoal Sevens. Reasoning being is that although you can see the mountain peaks here, and although you could see this, when you would watch Jordan on TV, it literally looked like an all black shoe. You didn't see any of this stuff on it. It wasn't until they would do like a highlight or a close up, you would actually see the mountain peaks and stuff like that too. But then when you look up close, you see all that. Now, the reason why people called it the Raptor Seven, the reason why it's not called the Raptor Sevens also is because these shoes came out before the Toronto Raptors actually were made a team. These shoes came out, I believe, in 92. The Toronto Raptors came out as a team, I believe it was in 95, 96. So obviously these can't be called the Raptor Sevens, but people don't really care to call it what it's originally called, so they call it the Raptor Sevens. But as you can see, one of the things I love about the Jordan 7s is the bottoms here as well, and the West African art that's involved in it. That's a nice touch, and I just love these shoes. Like, I got these in 2017 for my birthday. This is my birthday gift, because I ended up making a like a We the North crew neck sweater, and then I bought I got another Raptors hat. Like, it ended up getting a snapback, but in the same color. But actually, one of my other, but then also too, we kind of lost track, but another thing too is I have a lot of Raptor hats, and anytime I'm wearing like a OG Raptors hat that has any purple in it, these are my go-to shoes. And I just love these shoes. They're very comfortable. In terms of the colorway and the design of the shoe, I really liked it. Didn't wear these when I first bought them. I wore them like maybe 3 or 4 months after I bought them, but these are just a really dope shoe. I love these shoes. Classic. I mean, these Jordans, Jordan played in these in the 92 finals when they're playing against Portland Trail Blazers. I watched that game as a kid, so to see Michael Jordan score 35 points in the first half and just make every single shot, and I was sitting there in my basement like a 9-year-old just like staring in space, it was crazy. And then to have these shoes is even better. So definitely one of the shoes that I had to get, and I'm really glad I did. So definitely number 8 on my list. In terms of where I got these off Flight Club, actually. So your best bet is probably like a consignment, because they obviously don't sell these in regular stores. But I remember there was a point where I was able to literally hold these in hand in the shoe store when they came out. But now you can't even do that. So it's unfortunate, but times are tough now. You know, it's a little bit different for sneaker people. But again, you can get these off different consignment shops. Price point might be a little bit higher, but if you really want the shoe, I would definitely say get them. These are definitely a classic, and definitely you can kind of wear these with little different stuff as well. But I mostly wear this with my Raptors gear if I do go to a Raptors game, or if I'm wearing any Raptors gear. But number 8 on my list, Raptor Sevens. Now, these shoes, number 6 on my list, are very significant. And a lot of sneaker people might look at me like I'm out of my damn mind for putting these so kind of low, but these ones, okay, now these ones are the Raptor. Well, the flu games or the Jordan 12s. Okay, the bred 12s. Most people call these the flu games. Now, for those of you who have not watched The Last Dance or don't know anything about Michael Jordan, the reason why these are called the flu game is because the story goes when Jordan was playing in the finals, the first finals run against the Utah Jazz, he had contracted food poisoning and he had flu-like symptoms. Yet he still played in the game, and I believe he scored, I think it was 37 points in 43 minutes, despite the fact that he could barely stand, and he was like, and Scottie Pippen had to carry him off the court, his teammates. So these shoes are held in very high regard. Okay. Now, the other reason why these are significant to me is these are the first shoes I ever camped out for in 2016. Now, normally, under normal circumstances, my black ass was never lining up to buy a pair of Jordans, and I refused for months to do that. But I had found out these Jordans were coming out, and I did a review on these shoes back in 2016. So if you want to check that out, feel free. But I'm going to do a review again because I love these shoes. So I remember when I saw that these shoes were coming out in 2016, I was like, oh my god, the flu games are coming out. I had to get them. And I remember I went to the local mall, and I was asking a guy, like, are you guys getting a pair? I'm like, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. He's like, but you're probably going to have to wake up early to get them. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, we're probably going to sell out by like 9 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, so how early do I have to fucking wake up? He's like, pretty damn early. I'm like, 6 o'clock? He's like, nah, bro, you got to wake up earlier. So I was like, shit. So I actually had a work event to go to that Saturday. So, but luckily it worked out because it was close by to where the shoe store was. So I basically woke up really early, lined up, got the shoe, went to my work event, came home, and all that. So, yeah. And I remember when I got these shoes in 2016, these were my first, and also these were my first bred black and red colorway of a Jordan that Michael Jordan actually played in. So that's another reason why these are significant to me. The reason why they're just lower on the list is because I just haven't worn them as much. These are like, I call these like my Deadpool shoes sometimes almost, because like I have a Deadpool shirt, so this is usually the go-to that I wear. But in terms of the design and stuff of the shoe, this leather right here is kind of designed off of, they call it like a like reptile print, but it's more designed off of basketball. And this shoe is actually modeled after a woman's shoe, a woman's Italian shoe. So Tinker got the design elements for this shoe based off of a woman's shoe. And also, I think this part is kind of about the Japanese rising sun. He got inspiration from that as well. So that's where the inspiration comes from. I love these shoes to death, obviously. And then the back of this shoe is always what I love about the shoe, and that's one of the reasons why I love it. It says, for those of you, I'm just going to read it to you. So it says Jordan on the back, and it says, quality inspired by the greatest player ever. Now, if that is not swag, I don't know what else is. But yeah, I love these shoes. Haven't worn them in a while, but I'm probably going to bust them out actually soon because I haven't feel like wearing them actually. And again, I could wear them with this. In terms of where you could get them, these actually sold. These were actually these were quick strikes, so these actually sold out that weekend. And they did, I think Michael Jordan made they made like about a good 20 something million off this shoe in one day. In terms of where you could get them, I would probably say you can probably get them off like Stadium Goods, Kicks on Fire, stuff like that. Price point on these are probably going to be insane because if you didn't get them on May 28th, 2016, you didn't get them. So for retail, I'm saying now you're going to be paying double. After The Last Dance, probably even triple the price for these. You're probably going to be paying at least $1,000. I'd be shocked if it was less than $1,000 for these. But yeah, these are dope. Classic shoe. I love this shoe to death. So number 7 on my list, Flu Game 12s, Jordan 12s. And the last shoe on this list for now, and then I'm going to sign off and then do another list. But I'm going to sign off with the banger, which is a classic, and I love these shoes. These ones. Jordan 14 Last Shots. Okay. So in the last video, I did the candy cane versions, and I told you guys that I had a black version, and this is the black version. Okay. Now, not going to go through too much of the tech specs and all that of the shoe and the specs of the shoe because I did that in the other one kind of. But like I said, there are 14 Jumpmans on this Jordan, which is kind of cool. And this shoe was obviously inspired, if you see the decal, by a Ferrari. So the spoiler is like right here, and then kind of like, and you see how they did the decals here. So actually, funny story with this shoe. So in the finals, in Jordan's last NBA Finals run, he was initially wearing the Jordan 13s, okay, which I will show you in my next video. Now, these were shoes that were going to be debuting or coming out, and Tinker Hatfield designed the shoe and had given it to Michael Jordan just to kind of wear, just to show. So the shoe that he wore in the last NBA Finals was just a prototype. It wasn't a shoe that was supposed to be debuted or shown. But Jordan, like most sneakerheads, are into sneakers, and he saw the shoe and decided to say, "Screw it, I'm gonna wear this shoe." And Tinker and Jordan Brand were kind of pissed with them because we were like, "Dude, we haven't even rolled it out. We haven't put it out there yet." And Jordan's like, "It's okay, we'll be fine." And this shoe sold like hotcakes. I was actually living in Maryland at the time when these shoes came out, and unfortunately for my black ass, I could not get a pair when they came out. I missed out, but I always loved this shoe, and everybody had this shoe. I remember in Maryland, everyone had this shoe. So when these shoes were announced, I had to get these. Now, I have a little bit of a semi-bone to pick, and this is kind of going to segue into the end of my video. But so when these shoes came out, this shoe came out again. When I bought these in 2018. And the reason why they came out was the 20th anniversary of his last finals run in Chicago, so these came out. So I remember I woke up really early, lined up to get the damn shoe, because I'm thinking, okay, this shoe's going to definitely sell out. Shoe did not sell out. Basically, I was in the line for about, there was only about 4 people in the line. I was in and out really quick. There was no problem with that. This shoe actually sat on shelves for 2 weeks at the Jordan store downtown Toronto, which is now a Foot Locker, but I'll get into that's another story. So I was kind of like, wow, this shoe actually sat on shelves, like no one bought it. Now the reasoning being, and I talked to a guy when I was lining up for a pair of the Concords, he said that he didn't buy this shoe because they had changed the suede on how the suede was on this shoe, and he didn't like the quality of it. Now I told him I bought it because, again, I missed out on all those other pairs, so I figured, why the hell not? Let me buy a pair. So, but then what my bone to pick is, so last year, as most people know, the Last Chance documentary came out on Netflix. It's still on Netflix if you haven't watched it. It's the best sports documentary I've ever watched. So I was curious one day, and I am on this app called GOAT. It's another app that you can buy shoes from. So I was just curious what the resale value or how much these shoes were costing, because I remember up until last year, these shoes, you could get these at a decent price for the most part. After the Last Chance documentary, these fucking shoes were going for almost $2,500 on some sites, depending on the size. The cheapest I was seeing for this shoe was $1,500. And it's literally because of a documentary. And I'm just like, you guys out there in sneakerland, you guys are fucking weirdos. This shoe literally sat on shelves for 2 fucking weeks. You could have bought this shoe any other time before. All of a sudden, the Last Chance documentary comes out, and now you guys want to buy the shoe and spend $1,500 on it. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't understand that. Even as a sneakerhead, that makes no sense to me, but I digress. But nonetheless, this is a really dope shoe. I wore this shoe a lot. Like I said, with the 14s in general, I find the 14s are a very, very, very comfortable shoe just to walk and wear. So if you're someone who's, let's say, casual, somebody, and you're looking for a Jordan to just kind of wear, this shoe is very, very, the 14s are a very comfortable shoe. Doesn't look like it, but trust me, if it wasn't comfortable, I wouldn't wear it. But these are very comfortable, actually. I really, really love these shoes. So definitely, in terms of where you can buy them, I mean, shit. I don't even know if you can get them for a decent price. I mean, you could try those consignment shops. Those are the only places you can go. But in terms of price point, I mean, the price point's just ridiculous for these shoes. I don't know why they're so expensive, but nonetheless, it is what it is. So that's number 6 on my list, the Jordan 14s edition. So, as you can see, people, I went from 10 to 6. I'm going to sign off for now, post this one, and then I'm going to do another video on my top 5. Okay, so stay tuned. It's going to be fun and exciting. Like, comment, subscribe if you've done so already, and I will be returning shortly. So, take care.